Look at that, we're here.
Oh, is he on?
That's what everything says. Oh, I need to record this too. How the hell do I do that? Does it save the recording? This is not good.
Yeah, it might just save it for you. But then again, yeah, I'm pretty sure what'll happen is at the end, it'll save it and it'll have the option to download audio or video or both.
Henry is at work.
I don't know, Henry.
All right, we're here. 2/3 of us. Don't know where Jack's. I think
We're down our trivia host.
Yeah, so those of you that came for trivia, we've got some bad news. We probably will not have trivia for you. We might, but as of right now, I don't know if we're going to. Joey Spatula has been here from the beginning. Timo has been here from the beginning. Both of them have upended commitments to be here. Joey Spatula canceled his pop-up. Timo quit his job despite needing to feed his family and needs his parlays to hit to feed all the people. But we're here. The Celtics beat the brakes off the Sixers yesterday, per usual. And it was one of those games that was not one of those games because they shot no threes. It was very strange, Bobby.
Yeah, it really was. First off, I want to say shout out to everyone who's joining us on the live stream. It was worth quitting your job for this and canceling pop-ups. So right now, let's enjoy this time together. And when it comes to last night's game, that was the headline, that it was an uncharacteristic type of win. 5 made threes is their fewest since 2018. 22 attempts is their least in the Joe Mazzulla era. And he talked about how I think sometimes his philosophies, they get misconstrued, both by the media and by fans. And so he talked about how it's not about taking threes to him as much as it is consistently hunting and finding the right shot. And that can change from one possession to the next. With that said, he's also stated that 3-point attempt rate is the most important stat because the math is what it is. So for the Celtics, it's an uncharacteristic style of win. But if you just take their points in the paint and at the free throw line, they would have lost by 1, 99-98. And to put up that much from those two categories is pretty impressive, especially when you're a team where there's a narrative where it's they take too many threes and it might be the thing that cost them in the playoffs. So this was an important preparation for the postseason for the Celtics. And yes, there was no Joel Embiid on the other side, but I thought that Boston handled it well.
They certainly did, and they did adjust to it. I mean, you saw a lot of different types of offense. They shot a ton of shots in the paint, and they did a good job of getting to the rim. We were at the game, and we talked about it. With Embiid not being there, there's no excuse not to do that. Everything was easy inside for Boston. They weren't missing a whole lot at the rim, and, I mean, they got to the line a whole lot because Philly was in the bonus in that third quarter for, like, at least half the quarter. Kristaps just 8 at the free throw line. He must have shot 8 free throws in that quarter alone. He made all of them. So they did a really good job of adjusting to what Philly threw at them. I know it was a talking point throughout the press conferences where Gary Washburn was asking the players about, listen, Nick Nurse has played against you guys a ton of times. He clearly is schemed for this. He's trying to make you guys play in a way you are not comfortable playing. What do you think? And they were just like, listen, we have to adjust, read the game, and play to whatever they're giving us, and we did a good job of that tonight. And they certainly did. That's why they were able to blow them out. In the fourth quarter, Tatum just put his head down and said, that's enough of that, and got to the basket. It was fantastic to watch. And, going forward, it'll be interesting to see if the Celtics continue to be malleable and want to just take whatever they can get.
Yeah, I think you have to. And this is a team that's really made it a mission. We do not want to go out there and just be more talented than our opposition. And look, that area of the game, talent, is not what's cost them championships recently. They've been good enough on that front. So they know when they get out there, they need to be the smarter team. They need to be poised under pressure, and they need to be able to stay ahead to avoid a team like Miami mucking up the game and overcoming whatever gap there might be in talent. And so for the Celtics, they've seen what's happened the recent years, and this is a group that has matured. You now have a 27-year-old Jaylen Brown and a soon-to-be 26-year-old Jason Tatum It is a group that has seen a lot and figuring it out. And this is when we talk about why Joe Mazzulla fits this team now better than Ime Udoka would, because I think Joe Mazzulla does a better job of being able to navigate those type of issues and hit on those points. Whereas Ime Udoka is more the guy that was able to get them to say, hey, don't look at Kevin Durant like he's some star that's not on your level, that you're not on his level. You need to be able to go through him. And to your point about getting easy buckets in the paint, I mean, first play of the game, it's Jason Tatum. They get the switch with Tyrese Maxey, and he goes like he's not even there to the basket for a layup. So the Celtics, once they were able in the first half, they didn't do a good job when it came to spacing and offensively being physical. And so what it led to was double-digit turnovers, or maybe it was 9. They're just right around there. And then I think it was 9 turnovers, 10 points given up off them, something like that. And then in the second half, they only had 5. So between better spacing and once they stopped turning over the ball, it was going to be really difficult for Philadelphia to overcome not having their MVP out there.
Yeah, it is funny. Joey in the chat is talking about Joe and saying how he seems very mature from a leadership standpoint, maybe not with the media. I don't know. He seems mature with us. But it was
think
funny.
He's done a pretty good job with the media this year and getting more comfortable in showing his personality, which he didn't seem like he wanted to do last season. He was guarded. And considering the leap he made from sitting behind the bench to becoming the youngest head coach in the league at the time, you can understand why he would look at it that way and want to slow play, showing you who he really is.
Yeah, I mean, if he came out last year and was just talking about movies, people would have been heated. Like, they're like down 0-3 to the Heat in the conference finals. He's talking about Spider-Man. Even I would not condone that. I would be like, are we serious? I'd be irate. Apparently, Jack is coming. I don't know if you've seen the updates in the Talkin.
There are rumors.
He said he was distracted, so we will see. Maybe interrogate him when he arrives.
We'll put him on the hot seat.
We will put him on the hot seat. But it was a weird night of adjustments for Mazzulla too, Bobby. Oh, look at that. Speak of the devil. Here he is.
Hey.
All right.
Jackie Simone, good morning.
And he's muted.
Kid's not ready. Kid's not ready for prime time right now.
He's
still muted.
Let me see.
There we go.
It's not letting me unmute them. It says your mic is not connected.
I got it.
He's
all right.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. That's my bad.
I
was up at 10:30.
I knew you were up. That's why.
I know. I was up at 10:30. I'm like, all right, I got 15 more minutes in me. Wake up 11:10. I'm like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, the mind-blowing part was that you had already responded to texts earlier.
I know. That's the killer. Like, I'll get up. I always get up in time. It's just a matter of like, oh, I got 10 more minutes to sleep, and then
if you do that and don't set an alarm, it's a killer.
The alarms.
I have alarms. Yeah, the alarms mean nothing.
Henry is the alarm, and he's at work. You set an alarm for 11:15
to sleep through that.
Snooze. It's the snooze. It's the snooze. It's the snooze. It's the snooze. No, Bobby, I was in college, and the RA told me that I got noise complaints from my neighbors about my alarms, even though I wasn't waking up to them. So my neighbors heard my alarms, but I was. Yeah, it's just it doesn't work.
He's got it plugged into one of those giant speakers.
Like a frat house party. You have speaker. A big JBL like pill ready for you to get you up in the morning.
No, I had an alarm that my mom bought me, like an alarm clock that was like obscenely loud, and it still didn't work.
Joey Spatula, it seems extremely ironic to me that Henry is this alarm.
Well, Henry,
it's true.
Well, he does have narcolepsy. Well, he does have narcolepsy. Henry does still like he wakes up early because he is like so regimented with his meds to sleep. Yeah. And so that's fine. Also, to put a perfectly clear chat, I didn't sleep for like 11 hours here. Like this isn't like me sleeping like for
even I got up late today.
I didn't go to sleep till like 5. So I still didn't get like normal sleep. It's just I didn't wake up. But I am here. Did you do the intro and stuff for the video, or have you just been chatting?
Oh, I kind of forgot to do an intro, but we
That's okay.
We're like,
I can
hey,
edit
we're
it.
here. I did the
Okay, perfect.
pregame
Before
intro.
we get to the intro, if we're doing it, important question, especially for the group chat: is there trivia today, Jack Simone?
Bobby, I entered Monday without even having a question, so of course there's trivia. I'm on the fly. We're always ready for trivia.
This is why you can show up late.
Well, maybe not.
So we just went through. We did our takeaways from the Philly game, Jack.
Perfect.
You as Bobby has said in the past, sometimes the host doesn't listen. So as you were not listening, go through and tell us what you thought. What'd you think?
It was good. They won the game. I mean, as you can see by the title of the stream, the Celtics used the Sixers as crash dummies. That's what I wrote about this morning for Celtics blog.
Did you put crash dummies on the thumbnail?
I did. No, I didn't put a crash dummy on the thumbnail, but the last paragraph of my article for Celtics blog was whether intentional or not, Boston has been treating their opponents like crash dummies car companies use to ensure safety in the event of an accident. Mazzulla is the guy behind the glass with the clipboard. The safety metrics indicate playoff goals. The Celtics are the car, and on Tuesday night, the Sixers were the crash test dummy. Maybe he didn't go into the night expecting an experiment. He talked about before the All-Star break, like looking at 10 to 12 things they could work on post All-Star break that he wanted to, check out the schedule and see when they could work on them. And Nick Nurse provided him an opportunity to do so when he decided to take away the 3-point shot. So I don't think in our recap this morning, I don't think it was like fully the Sixers didn't do a good enough job to have the Celtics only take 22 threes, right? Let's make that clear, right? The Sixers played solid defense to take away some threes, at least in the first half. In my head, I think Joe was just like, you know what, this is a good opportunity. Let's just attack the paint. Like let's just use this opportunity to get better at what we have been bad at in the past. Because they shot 37 free throws in this game. The other game that they shot that many, because that tied their season high, was the Magic game, which also happened to be their previous season low in 3-point attempts when they got smacked by 17 points. It was one of their worst losses of the season. And so I feel like Joe used Nick Nurse's game plan to start to fix that issue of driving, fix that issue of physicality, and they showed they could do it. And I think he used this game as an experiment, and I think it was funny, and it worked because the Celtics are just infinitely better than the Sixers are right now. And so it was good to see them be able to drive the paint. Good to see them get to the free throw line. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum driving well, attacking mismatches with Porzingis and Horford, all that good stuff. So it was a good win. But it does feel like Joe was just messing around in a good way to sort of fix some issues before the playoffs.
I'm just laughing at him. Yeah.
So first off, go check out Jack's article, obviously. And then secondly, I look at it as you can have degrees of truth in multiple categories. And so one of them is there was definitely some experimentation. And I know that Joe said that it doesn't apply to him playing Tatum the entire first quarter and switching up the Jaylen minutes. But I also think, come on, it probably does, right? When there's smoke, there's fire. And then when it comes to how the Sixers played them, it's not that what they did is something where the Celtics go, oh my God, switching in physicality. We never would have thought that a team would defend us this way to protect the perimeter. But I do think that they will be able to look at this game and find some things that help them in their playoff preparation. So I thought this game was valuable for the coaching staff in particular, and then just reinforcing the confidence, because even when you're a professional athlete and you're in the 99th percentile in that, it still helps to go out and actually do something. So this was another test of, hey, can we win when the threes aren't falling, or in this case, not even taking them? And can we continue to be, because we take tremendous pride in being the smarter team and being poised in different circumstances, and they check both of those boxes, and I think that helps as well.
Yeah, and this was a weird game in terms of pure shot differential. We were upstairs in the 9th floor, like looking at the little screen they have with the box score, and I was like, wait a minute, Philly has 81 shots to Boston's 56, and it was 1, because of some turnovers, 2, some offensive rebounds, but 3, because they shot a billion free throws in this game. And that was a big help to get them over the hump too, where they weren't necessarily creating a ton of scoring opportunities for themselves. But, you know, if you're shooting 37 free throws and only missing 3, it's a pretty good way to get yourself on the board. And they did a good job of that. To Jack's point about, hey, Philly isn't really making us not take threes. They're just being like, hey, look how inviting this free rim is. They did a great job of taking advantage of like, oh, no Embiid, B-ball Paul's not even in the game right now. Yeah, sure, we'll drive on Tobias Harris. It doesn't matter. And they punished Philly inside. Jack, do you remember what the percentage was in the paint? I know we did the show last night.
24-30. Shot 80% in the paint.
80%.
In the restricted area.
Like
restricted area.
65.4% inside the arc for the game.
Love that. Like that is the stuff that you dream about sometimes. You're just like, what if they just didn't shoot threes?
Also,
Not that I hate the threes, but it's
they're the-
cool to see that they can win without shooting threes, which I think is everybody's point.
Yes, you also, again, that's where you have to keep in mind, hey, the other team didn't have Joel Embiid. It's a pretty big deal, right? So can they do it? Yes, but it becomes a lot easier when that's the opponent. And again, like the ability to live in the paint like that, it looks different if Joel is on the floor. So that's where they really need to measure up their, what Philly did well and what they'll take from this game. But I think there's a strong argument they have the best coaching staff in the league. They have 2 of the top lead assistants in Charles Lee and Sam Cassell. So I think that what they pull from this for the postseason will be interesting. Also, when we talk about the free throws, Tatum, Brown, and Porzingis each had double-digit attempts. That's the first team in the NBA to do so since 2021.
What team was in 21? Do you know?
I want to say the Brooklyn Nets. If you give me a second, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, it's just hard and like grabbing people's arms. That would make sense. Yeah. What's funny is Jack knows all about the assistant coaches, Boston's tremendous coaching staff.
I'm trying.
I can't believe that guy wrote for Fansided.
I know there's a coach. There's a coach for it. I'm working on an article, so I'm not going to give away all my secrets. But there's a coach that.
All right. That's like your minor punishment for being late. I spoiled something.
Like I'm writing the Derek White article last year. Sam's like, "Yeah, Derek White actually loves Oreos." I'm like, "Whoa!"
That's too, Samuel.
Yeah, good win against the Sixers last night. Cavaliers also won though, unfortunately. Why does he
despise the Cavaliers? Not really.
You despise Max Strus.
I don't like Max.
Which fair enough.
He's a rat.
Good win. Good to see Jason Tatum stepping up again. I mean, it feels like we're just kind of seeing him decide when and where he'd like to turn it on. Like the first half, he was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna make all the passes," and then the second half, he's like, "All right, I'm sick of it. Like you just lose now.
I don't lose to Philly. Can we please be serious?" Yeah. He just dunked 3 times.
I'm just gonna start scoring now.
I think the nature and the difference in personalities, I think it really helps both of them to feel good with what their workload was and how much they got to shine, where Jaylen Brown likes to come out aggressive. And so Jason Tatum plays into that and says, okay, let me be more of the facilitator. You handle the scoring in the beginning. And then in the second half, and when it matters most, the guy with the ball in his hands quite often is Jason Tatum, and he's showing more of his scoring prowess. So I think it helps to balance everything between the 2 of them.
Yeah, and it really felt
100%.
like a concentrated Tatum effort yesterday. It's different when you go to the game, I guess, compared to when I'm watching on TV, how I feel about things. But I did not feel Tatum's presence at all from the 3-point line. Like, I didn't feel like he was hurting them. I didn't feel like he was settling. He still took, 7 threes yesterday? And he only made 1. So, it wasn't the greatest. But he did a really good job of just focusing down and getting the best shots possible. Now, I know we have breaking news.
We do.
Have you seen this?
We do. We have the title of the video. Don't worry about it. Drew Holiday is expected to be part of Team USA. Per Shams Charania and Joe Vardon of The Athletic. said he's expected to be among the 12 members of Team USA's roster for the 2024 Olympics. Team officials evaluated Holiday's two-way ability, point of attack defense, and dynamic playmaking. That's per The Athletic. And I will say, we're all kind of morons because he effectively told us this yesterday, and we didn't realize it. He rocked up to the arena wearing his wife's USA soccer jersey. So he was like trying to break the news before Shams, and no one picked up on it. But this will probably be the title of the video. So
is that the only family to ever have husband, wife represent the nation?
Yeah,
Probably,
I think
yes.
so. Probably. I was thinking because I know
maybe there's like obscure sport athletes.
I know Zach Ertz, his wife, was on the soccer team, but there's no football in the Olympics. So yeah, this might be the only one that I can think of in major sports. But yeah, Drew Holiday going to be a part of Team USA. We speculated about this earlier in the summer, or earlier in the year, I suppose, when they did the whole this is the potential candidates for the roster. We talked about would there be any Celtics. We assumed Tatum would be. I think none of us had Drew Holiday on the roster because we assumed it'd be all the stars. Yeah. But
Chris Paul, Banana Boat Boys.
Also, Drew Holiday, outstanding poker player when it comes to just lying to your face. If you remember when it first came out about Team USA's interest, he was like, "That's news to me. They haven't spoken to me. I haven't heard from them." Clearly, putting him on the roster was something they had already decided at that time. So he did.
I wonder why they waited to announce that. Is there any benefit to that? Like, do they get anything? Does he get anything? Like, does he avoid us being like, hey, you're not focused on the Celtics? Like, the playoffs still haven't happened.
I feel like it's just the freedom to change things. If something like they don't need, there's also no benefit to them announcing it in November, right? Like, so I think it's just waiting until they iron some other things out, seeing if other players would be interested. Like, for all we know, like it was, this person was going to do it, but he dropped out. So let's lock in Drew. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like he was the first choice, but for all we know, like, Steph Curry was going to do it, but now he can't. So Drew Holiday's going to do it. I think Steph's going to do it.
Anyway. The best part about this,
it's in Paris, so the stars are coming. Like, there's a reason that LeBron has been recruiting and successfully. A lot of the big names will be there. We went through the roster, and so with Drew, I wonder if it was just a matter of we have to actually communicate with him, and then if the results are positive, at least we can put this out to the public.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. If I'm Team USA, how do I build the team around Drew Holiday? Like, is LeBron a good fit next to Drew Holiday? We're seeing the Celtics like beat up on everybody. Like, probably Tatum, probably Brown are both good fits. We've seen it. Derek White can play with Drew Holiday.
They could
we haven't seen LeBron play with Drew Holiday yet. Like, maybe they don't want LeBron on this team. Everyone's gonna be talking about his stupid kid. Like, you don't want that kind of distraction when you're trying to win a gold medal. Just ask. Like, I don't know, LeBron, he's lost in the Olympics before. 2004, Drew Holiday has never lost the Olympics.
You could just put the Celtics starting 4 minus Porzingis next to Embiid and have a pretty good starting lineup.
Well, Embiid's a known loser. This is not good. Like, look who you're picking from. Like, Anthony Davis has won a ring, but he can't stay healthy.
Well, Bam.
Steph Curry.
Bam in there. Bam can be in there.
Bam is a good winner. And, everybody thinks he's going to be on the Celtics someday. Everyone's like, he loves to hang out with Deuce. He's Tatum's best friend. He's going to be on the Celtics, which will never happen. Yeah, Bam, fine with that, right? Let's, think of who else.
You need shooting, someone who can space the floor, so Sam Hauser.
Yep. Probably can't do, Clay.
You put Peyton Pritchard on there. Peyton Pritchard played for this black team last year.
A high-level defender to be able to come off the bench and as a backup for Drew Holiday for that impact, Jaden Springer.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
Big grit guy.
I agree. You want somebody who can guard multiple positions like Jokic and Giannis in the playoffs. Xavier Tillman's right there. Throw him in there.
I think Jordan Walsh has a strong case for that final roster spot.
You could even have, other diverse defenders like Marcus Smart. I'm sure he would play.
All right, this is ridiculous. So do we think this means there'll be 2 Celtics on Team USA? Do we think they'll cut it off at Drew and Tatum? Like, realistically,
I don't know if you're just listening.
I mean, I think Jalen has a legitimate chance to make it, and some of the odds makers have put him on the roster based on each candidate's percentage.
Really?
I feel like Derek White would be a better fit on Team USA than Jaylen Brown. I feel like it makes a lot more sense to have a Derek White than a Jaylen Brown on this Team USA team. I don't think that's what will happen, but I think that's would make more sense from a basketball because you're gonna have LeBron, you're gonna have Steph, you're gonna have Tatum, you're gonna have Durant. Like, do you need another Jaylen Brown or do you need a Derek White? And that's not
you said
knocking
it,
Jaylen Brown, but
Derek makes more sense. But
it's not gonna happen though.
There is some politicking involved, and I don't know if Derek gets in over Jaylen. I don't think it's going to be looked at as an either or between those two. But when it comes to making the roster, there are like the Tayshaun Princes and Michael Reds who get on. So maybe, but ultimately I wouldn't be surprised if it's just star power wins out.
Yeah.
Jack is the best because no matter what, he's like, what if Derek White?
Well, it's because he fits everywhere.
I'm telling you right now, you have a good point. Like, what you're saying does not make sense. But like, presidency for 2024, Derek White.
Derek White is a basketball player that every single team wants to have on their roster.
Correct.
Like, I think Derek White might have some of the highest non-superstar trade value in the NBA. Like, because he does everything.
He may be like a top trade value guy. I know Bill Simmons does it might not just be him, but the Ringer does trade value power rankings, and Derek White was pretty high up on. I think he was like at least 30.
I mean, for right now, at the very least, even if you want to put it in like NBA, not Team USA, like makes $17 million, is an all defensive second or first team caliber player, shoots 40% from three, can create his own shot, doesn't need the ball in his hands, but can thrive with it in his hands in the pick and roll. Like, he fits in every single. He's the easiest guy on the planet to work with. Everybody wants a Derek White on their team. Like there were rumors at the trade deadline last year saying like, oh, Celtics got offers like 2 firsts for Derek White, but they're like, no, because they want him around. Like, people want Derek White. It's not a coincidence that he impacts winning at such a high level that is plus minus a second league behind Shea. Like, it's a real thing. And so I think Team USA should benefit from it.
More on Team USA, star players who are considered locks for Team USA. This is from NBA Central, but it's via Shams. Is Drew, Kevin Durant, LeBron, sadly, Steph Curry, Joel Embiid, and Tatum. So Tatum will be there no matter what, except if he gets hurt, knock on wood.
Yeah. Tatum will definitely be there, knock on wood. I want to say with Derek, he had a block last night early in the game where Tobias Harris. And so think about the difference in height and Harris's ability to just like long stride his way past Derek White. He spun on him, went nowhere. Derek White is still right in front of him off the spin move. And then he faces up and Derek White just absolutely stuffed him. It was literally like he little brothered him.
We were sitting next to each other, and I was like, oh, my God, Bobby, he just played perfect defense. Did you see that? Like, moved his feet perfectly. He was on perfect diagonal slides. I was enamored with that play. Excellent defense from Derek White. And it's just another example of why he's going to be on one of probably the all-defensive team, not the second team.
He's got to be first team.
I think he makes the first team.
Big boy Derek White.
Him and Holiday should be the guards in the first team. Him and Holiday, like, this is also a good point by Joey Spatula. Circling back, West Virginia graduate would be perfect for the point guard.
Did you guys see the Joe mixtape that was on Twitter from the actual at Joe Mazzulla account? It's not him, but it's the guy that has like an account with the handle.
That's funny.
It's
no,
just
I didn't
raining
see it.
threes.
I'll have to watch it. I will also say, I tweeted this out yesterday. You look at the odds for Defensive Player of the Year, and it doesn't matter because I don't think Derek White or Drew Holiday are the best candidate necessarily. I think Gobert or Jared Allen are like 1 and 2, like for that. But like the fact that they aren't like right there in the mix on the second best defensive team in the NBA for their impact just shows that voters cares about 2 blocks a game, 2 steals a game. Like they don't like people don't like care. Like defensive impact usually, which is like upsetting. But
yeah, it's an award that skews towards centers. There's a reason that Marcus was the first guard to get it since Gary Payton. And then also there's voters who don't watch games outside of the teams they cover. So
I mean, Shea is a fine defender, but he has better odds than those two because he's averaging 2 steals a game, and that's just not like respectfully, no. Like stop. Wemby is the 3rd best odds right now. He has the worst defense in the NBA. That is what he's leading. I know he's leading the league in blocks, but it doesn't matter if the team sucks at defense. What are we doing?
Wemby sucks, Jack.
It's crazy, dude.
Put that on TikTok, Jack.
I had something I was going to say. this. I forget what it was. It was something. Oh yeah, award voting media members should just like all house Derek White and be like, well, what if Derek White was Defensive Player of the Year? Just start doing what they've been doing with Tatum MVP, like ESPN.
Push the agenda.
Yeah, like whoever doesn't have a vote, just like, yeah, like what if Derek White? And everyone's like got like $5,000 on plus 5,000. Everyone gets rich.
Would be sick. Let's see. Speaking of Mazzulla last year, the fact that he blew up 3-point. What do you mean he blew up? what he blew up? How so?
I don't think he blew up. He treated me like a child, but that's neither here nor there.
That's just Joe. You get used to it. How long do we think the streak's lasting? Oh, that's a good question. They've got a tough stretch.
Like Dallas Friday.
It would be difficult.
I think they beat Dallas. Sunday will be very interesting.
Warriors game is going to be interesting. They got Dallas, Golden State, Cleveland, Denver, Phoenix. So they've got a tough stretch. We talked about it.
Loss.
Good adjustment from Joe. Yeah.
Dallas playing him before Friday. I'll look it up. You guys don't.
It's just a tough stretch for the Celtics. Like they're playing a lot of good teams, and I don't think it's a matter of they're not as good as these teams. I think it's a matter of will they care enough, and not in a bad way, not in a way like they're slacking, they suck, like not putting in the effort, but like they don't really need to win every single one of these games. Like they don't need to put in 100% of effort, exhaust themselves before the playoffs. That's a high goal. They don't need to put in 100% effort for 48 minutes over the next month and a half to exhaust themselves before the playoffs, because they've built a big enough lead where it's going to be harder for them to lose the first seed than keep it. So that's the only reason I don't know how long the win streak is going to last. But as of now, they look pretty good. So at the same time,
I look at three of those matchups in particular. One, they're going to get up for Golden State. That means something to them. They'll take that matchup personally, and it's on their home floor. I wouldn't be surprised if they win convincingly, especially against this iteration of the Warriors. And then also, this is a team that's guarded in some of the stuff that they don't necessarily want to put much of a sample size out for teams to study going into the playoffs. So even though they might not end up facing the Cavaliers in the postseason, I wonder if that's one where they play it differently with the future in mind. And then Denver, you're going to their building. They were the first team this season to beat you in your venue. It'll be curious to see that matchup, which is certainly the leader in the clubhouse, for a finals preview.
Yeah. I mean, that Denver game on the road is going to be marquee. Must see. What is that, next Thursday, Friday? It's not far from now. I know we're talking about the upcoming stretch of games. But Friday's game, I'm sure they'll all take Kyrie to dinner. They love him so much. The Warriors, I think they will get up for. And then going forward, I'm interested to see this Cleveland game, because I've been trashing the Cavs for quite some time now, because everybody wants to be like, look how hot the Cavs have gotten. And they just beat up on all these bad teams. So it'll be interesting to see them go up against the Celtics. I know they beat Dallas last night. Dallas was on a hot streak going into that game. So they can play against real teams. But I'm curious to see, are they actually going to be able to play against the Celtics? Because the first two times they played them, the Celtics had their way with them pretty well.
I will also say, if we're being fair and talking about, they've won their one streak against bad teams, let's not act like the Celtics have played the Avengers during their current win streak. Like let's be a little bit also
the best
fair.
record in the NBA, and they have easiest schedule remaining because they've already played a hard team.
I know. I'm just saying, like, the Cavs are like, yes, they haven't beat as many good teams as the Celtics, but if we're talking winning streaks and getting hot, like they've played the Nets twice, the Hawks, the Wizards, the Grizzlies, the shorthanded Knicks. Like I'm just saying, like this is a big stretch if they continue it in here into the next few games. Like also true.
Also, Cleveland, I mean, think about how long they went without two of their four best players in Garland and Mobley. And it really ended up being a benefit because it changed their identity. And then they've done well reintegrating those two. But yeah, I mean, that's a team that has a very impressive core four and now gets to see the effect of adding Max Strus, who hits the crazy game winner from 58 feet last night. Georges Niang has been really good for them. And they got Craig Porter Jr., who came out of nowhere to be an impact player. So this is a good Cavaliers team.
100%. Like I said, I think this is a big stretch for the Celtics, an important stretch for the Celtics. Curious to see how they'll handle it. and curious to see how long we think the streak will last. As Timo asked, I don't know about 69 wins though, Phil. Sorry,
They should win every game.
that would be
Stand by it.
insane. All right, Bobby. Anything else you wanted to cover here today?
No, I think we hit on everything, and then on Friday we can preview the Dallas matchup.
All righty, we
Hope they
can
beat the brakes
do
off
that.
Kyrie. Little
Shocker. Sam wants Celtics
Bad
to
time
beat
to
Kyrie.
freeze.
It's not a bad time to freeze. I could have finished the sentence for him.
I hope they run him out of town. Did you see Cleveland gave him a nice ovation yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Probably
I did, yeah. Definitely, absolutely deserved it. What are you
Shot
doing?
his way out of town.
He won them a championship. Their only championship.
Yeah, no, he definitely does deserve it.
All right, trivia time, shall we?
Let's get it.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna do the same format as we did the other day, or the other
That was getting turned off.
pod, I should say.
It is funny, like, to actually see Kyrie be well received somewhere. Like, you could tell he was so happy that people are actually cheering for him in a place he used to play, because everywhere he leaves, he just lights on fire. Okay, I'm done.
All right, let's do. What did we do last time? Turnovers.
We did all-time turnover leaders.
Okay, we'll do a positive.
What's funny, by the way, Sam, is that the place that's going to have like the least animosity towards him after he leaves is going to be Dallas.
Yeah, because he'll probably just be washed by then or whatever. Like, they won't really need him by the time it's time for him to leave Dallas, unless he's like, I want to play with LeBron like right now, which could happen.
I think the only way they hate him is not even if he asks out in the summer. It's if like he stays and ruins it for Luka and Luka leaves and they hold Kyrie as responsible.
That would be something.
Sam has a new dream. All right. Category for today. We're going to do offensive rebounds. Who leads?
Okay,
actually, I changed my mind. Sorry. I want to pick one that is not if you get the leader, you win.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Sorry, looking at this.
Now that Sam's going first.
Well, I mean, that's just unfair.
Okay.
Like last time, I specifically tried to pick one where like you both have a chance. Like, spoiler alert: Robert Parrish has 1,000 more than anybody else.
Well, that's what I was going to pick. See,
would have been unfair. Yeah.
Job
Well, that's
underway. Everyone.
Why I cut you off. That's why I cut you off before you had the chance to guess. So let's go to a different category. I don't want to pick like a negative one again, but I might because it's funny, and because it's easy to like.
What I will say, if you can avoid picking one that'll just be like, this guy played here the longest.
Yeah, agreed.
Can I do career 3-point percentage on the Celtics? That's tough though, because then like if you pick someone who's only taken 2 and they've made 1, you know what I'm saying?
Hard. Yeah, because you're not gonna be able to filter out the attempts.
Yeah.
Can you stat use that? Can you stat
let me see if I can stat use that.
Best career 3-point percentages of Celtics minimum 50 games or something like.
Point percentage by a Celtics player minimum 50 games
before we actually start.
All right. All right. I need to filter by attempts because Mark Akers has played 141 games and shooting 100%, which is not.
You know, there's someone who played for the Celtics named Mark Akers.
I didn't. I didn't know there was that. All right, that might be too difficult. Shit. Okay.
How will you add up the total for that too?
I was gonna do the average.
Okay.
I was gonna do the average. Yeah, like average them all together. It's tough because like half of them are just somebody played here forever, and so they are far and away the leader. So if you get it, you win, which is unfair. But at the same time, like the averages one is a lot of. It's tough you can't filter out. You know what I'm saying? So expand all leaderboards. Right, statistic requirements. Like I'm trying to.
I wish I had this better idea. I half want to be like, can you like filter the oldest people to ever play for the Celtics?
Should we do like a more traditional all-time leaders in steals or something?
Yeah, we could do a normal one. It's just the issue with that is like I tried to do that rebounds, but people who played here forever just like there's no winning if you don't get the first one. Like it's impossible. Sorry, chat. 1 second. Let's do free throw attempts. Yeah, we'll do that. Actually, yeah, we'll do free throw attempts, and I'll save the other one. Okay. All-time free throw attempts for the Celtics. There's only so much you can do at some point, but let's rock with it. Sam, you are leading us here. Who is your guess for all-time free throw attempts?
I'm gonna guess. I'm kind of torn, but I'll do Robert Parrish because he's played the most games.
It is attempts, not makes. I said
Okay.
that, right? Okay, yeah. Free throw attempts. All right, Robert Parrish. 4,491 free throw attempts. Bobby, to you.
He was on it, but that one was easy. Paul Pierce.
That was my other guess.
Okay, Paul Pierce, free throw attempts.
Oh, I'm devastated.
There we go.
Sam, back to you.
Not good.
Thank you to the truth.
I will guess Larry Bird.
That's no fun.
Alrighty, Larry Bird.
Oh my goodness, this is bad.
Back to you, Bobby.
John Havlicek.
Oh, I forgot free throw attempts existed before.
When they were on peach baskets.
Oh my gosh, this is so bad.
Sam, back to you.
I'll guess. Oh man, now I'm panicked. This is so bad. I'll guess Sam Jones.
Sam Jones. All right. Let's see.
Oh no.
Bobby, back to you.
I don't even have him through 3 yeses.
I mean, I might help your cause right now, Sam. Kevin McHale.
Nah, no way. He's probably got like about as much as Jones at least.
Woo!
All right, Sam. 2 more for you.
That.
I'll guess Tatum. He's been here a little bit.
All right,
It's not going to be a great guess.
Tatum, total attempt.
No, he's got to look for it. This is bad.
Let's see.
It's over. Yep.
21.95. Bobby.
Tom Heinsohn.
Tommy Heinsohn. Let's see. Take a look here.
Oh boy, that means he's far.
So
it doesn't matter at this point, though. I don't even think I have as much as you through 4 guesses.
All righty. There we go.
I'll take a 3 on that.
I will guess Dave Cowens.
He was my next guess.
All right, let's see. It's really a giveaway when that's not in the top 10. I have to go look for it. All right, let's see. I have to filter out as 1 Milwaukee season. All right, there we go. Bobby, back to you.
I'm so mad at myself.
Juwan Morgan is not on the list.
That's an electric guess.
That's
right
a tough
there.
one, yeah. Celtics Canada, yeah, you're right. Celtics Canada's really mad at you guys.
We're done after this anyway, right?
Yeah, this is Bobby's last one. And spoiler alert, I don't think I'm going to do the math. Sorry, Sam.
I will go with Bob Cousy.
All righty, there we go. Back on the fucking top 10. And I swore again, so I'll edit it out. All right. Bang. There you go.
Cousy had way more than I thought.
Okay. Celtics Canada, very mad because neither of you guessed Bill Russell.
He was my next guess. It was between Kuz and Russell. And even though Russell's bigger, I considered.
Was he
Cousy
first?
Based on longevity.
Pierce was first. Cousy was second. Or sorry, Havlicek was second. Kuzi, Russell, McHale, Parrish, Bird, Sam Jones, Ed McCauley, Cedric Maxwell. Sam, so you did still have a chance after he went Pierce Havlicek because Kuzi and Russell were still on the board. So you could have like gotten in there a little bit. That's why I chose it. Because like, for example, free throw attempts, it's 7,900, 6,500, 57, 56, 45, 44, 44. So it's like kind of even. Offensive rebounds, 34, 2,300. Then it's 17, 16, 15. So it just like falls off a complete cliff. Yep. So there's like,
that's fine.
Yeah. Here we go.
Good choice.
Evens up the series though.
I choked this one.
It is funny how like whoever has gone first so far has just lost, and not even in like a close call, but in like the person who won second has gotten like the top 3 on the leaderboard.
Yeah, this series back-to-back blowouts.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Michael. The trivia is a staple now. Talking Z's trivia I love trivia. I think it's so
appreciate
fun.
You, Michael.
I'll come more prepared next time when I don't sleep through the start of the show.
It worked out though. It worked out. Here we are on roughly 5 hours of sleep, making it work.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that.
I don't. It's the answer. I didn't today. But yes. Any final thoughts for you out of here? Series tied 1-1 in the latest, Bobby.
I think we hit on everything.
Phenomenal. Love to see it. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure to check out Bobby's work at si.com/Celtics. Subscribe to us here at How About Them Celtics. Make sure to leave a like on the video as well. Check us out on podcast platforms. We're going to be dropping our full-length podcast tomorrow at 5. You can check out a recap of the Sixers game at the start of this video and in our video, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching today. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our Talkin' C's episodes when they go live. We're here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for you. You can also find our full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. And we have other videos too. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple. Make sure you follow us there for the audio versions of the full pods and game recaps. Those will go right to your inbox. Leave a 5-star review. Jack would appreciate it very much. You can follow Bobby on Twitter at Bobby Kravitsky. All of his work is for Inside the Celtics for SI Media. He told me he was putting in work last night at the Garden there till 3 a.m. concocting a masterpiece. So make sure you go check it out. He's putting in the work. He's boots on the ground all the time. You can also reach out to us via email, hbtcpod@gmail.com. If you want to do that, you can still get them in before we record today. We'll read them on tomorrow's pod. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. You can find our streams there and on YouTube and also on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at JackSimoneNBA. Bobby's, once again, is at Bobby Kravitsky. And mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.